Do you love America? Do you?
Clearly not as much as you. Clearly not as much as you do.
Hi guys, what's going on? I just want you to know, happy 4th of July, Patriots. What's up? What do you think about my shoes?
Really? Now I got your feet on me too? Feet and dirty things?
Oh my goodness, this is a little tight, you guys. It's just a little bit tight. I'm not gonna lie. I can barely breathe. It's like 1,000,000 degrees here, so. Anyway, this is my sweet Harlem Globetrotter, exceptionally small onesie, or whatever you want to call it.
But at least it's very highly breathable polyester.
Yeah, super breathable. Okay, I can't see. Hey guys, good to see you. Happy 4th of July. Whew. This thing, I'm not entirely sure how I got it on.
I think it's like a medium.
If that. And it's really tight. I'm kind of squished into it. I can't take full deep breaths because I'm kind of, but whatever. I do this for America because I do love my country. And I don't want to disrespect it. So I'm going to wear an outfit that's worthy of my country.
You're right. It's a 70s medium flipping particles. Exactly.
That's true. That's very true. Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty stoked about this outfit. I will say, however, it's too much right now. I do have my new favorite patriotic t-shirt underneath this. Okay, I'm going to need your help. Like, seriously?
It's so tight you can't even get out of it. This is exactly what people want to watch on a Wednesday morning.
I'm stuck, you guys.
Give me your arm.
I'm never getting out. Okay. Whew. Anyway, okay, but seriously, guys, check this shirt out. My friend Lou sent this to me. Amazing kitty who loves a Meowica. I don't know if that's like a firework or apparently it's just a stick of dynamite riding on this majestic bald eagle. Whew. Anyway, wowza. How's it going, guys?
I'm just wearing my Mr. Rogers shirt again. Sorry, I think I was wearing this last week for the show, but it's the only thing I have that's red and blue. So
we're white and blue. So there you go.
That's my version of patriotic.
Hey, here's the deal. Oh no, did I lose my phone? I think I left my phone in the other room. Oh, well. Anyway, I was going to say, here's the deal, guys. It's a fun day. It's a holiday. There probably aren't going to be as many people here. This is, by the way, the Boss Up and List live show. So thanks for joining us. Boss Up and List, that is our weekly. It's every Wednesday, all-day virtual listing party that we do in the Boss Facebook group. So if you are not in the Boss Facebook group, make sure that you join. The link is down below. Anyway, so that's what today's show is. We do it every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Do you need your phone for notes? Is that why you need your phone?
No, I'm going to tell you why I need my phone in a second here. Actually, I can do it on the desktop. But anyway, I was going to say, this is a special day. So here's the deal. We're just now starting the show. I want you guys, if you have either some sort of patriotic outfit on right now, or maybe somewhere you have some sort of like patriotic t-shirt in your house, go put it on, take a picture during the show, send it to me, send it to my Facebook Messenger, which is just my name, Katie Zilverberg. And by the end of the show, if anybody has sent me anything, I'll post them. Maybe make your pictures funny because I like to laugh, and I will share them at the end of the show. And you know what? I have a whole bag full of prizes. Let me show you my most recent acquisition. Guys, I'll give out some prizes. Just send me some pictures of you in your sweet 4th of July outfits. This is the Hug Life. Somebody could win this today.
I think you sent one like that to someone else.
I gave one to Dana.
Dana.
Yeah. Okay. The first one I found, I actually gave Dana. It was before I got fully into my cat t-shirt collecting phase.
Right.
So anyway, seriously, guys, send me a picture. Just send it to Katie Zilberberg on Facebook, to Messenger or whatever, and I will try to keep paying attention and see when stuff pops up. Okay. Anyway, again, thanks for joining us. It is Boss Up and List Day. Now I'm like really hot because I'm like still wearing half of a polyester jumpsuit. It's kind of ridiculous. Gretchen says, it's my daughter's birthday, so I'm watching from my closet so she doesn't catch me. She told me today's her day, and if America is celebrating her, I can do the whole day about her, LOL. That's pretty funny.
And Allison, we would never regift what you sent us.
We're not gifting what you sent us. Come on.
It's all cat crap.
Yeah. No, I'm gifting stuff that I find when I thrift it. Stuff that I'm not keeping for myself. Anyway, One Witch Lady, you could put a Canada shirt on right now. Take a picture of that and send it to us. I understand that you are not part of the whole 4th of July thing, but I will accept alternate holiday shirts from other countries. Okay, so
this is an equal opportunity YouTube show.
Yes, absolutely.
We love people that are not Americans too. We like the Canadians.
Yes, absolutely.
My Canadian friends are seriously some of the nicest people I've ever met. I've never met a Canadian that is a jerk. I don't know.
Well, I mean, Allison, she's kind of a jerk. She's kind of a jerk. So, but you know.
Yeah, I seriously, I have a lot of Canadian friends. Not a single one is a jerk. I don't know what it is. You people are really nice.
Yeah. I don't know. All these, they're always saying sorry about stuff, you know.
And about.
Oat and a boat and sorry and a. I don't know.
My family's all Canadian.
I still say it's all a ruse.
My family's all Canadian.
You know,
my parents are like moved here when
as Canadian George Costanza says, you can stuff your stories in a sack, right? You're weird. Lisa Lapointe, you missed the full glory of my patriotic outfit. You'll have to like go back to the beginning and see it. But I am wearing my patriotic t-shirt right now, my kitty t-shirt. So, but yes, I did have a full outfit.
You missed it in its glory. You're going to have to catch the recap of the first 2 minutes.
And all of it's meow-justy. Right?
It just gets worse. It's like every day. It's a little bit worse.
Pretty much. All right. So
what are we doing?
So today's show, I mean, we're doing a little bit different because it is a holiday and whatever. It's just going to be the two of us. I did work on some guests, but we don't have any like special guests for today, which is fine because I think a lot of people are out doing their own thing, whatever. So it's going to be the two of us, but we're going to have a conversation. It is the 4th of July. It is Independence Day. So I thought I would work in kind of the theme of how to kind of gain your independence as a reseller, building a successful business, what that means in today's kind of climate of online retail, especially with some of the stuff that's been happening over this last week.
Otherwise known as Glitchapalooza.
Yeah, or Picturegeddon was one of them. Anyway, but let's go ahead, and I do have some Boss Up shout outs, a couple of Boss Up shout outs.
Ooh, I like the shout
outs.
So,
so I'm going to go ahead and see where'd that picture go? That son of a gun. I had a picture up here real quick. Let me go ahead and get that back. Here it is. Excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And we got the hashtag Boss Up shout outs. So the first one was one that I was going to shout out the last show and then I forgot. And then Linda was like, where's my shout out? Because after my basically enormous attack on all of Canada, she was feeling left out and wanted me to go after Australia. But you know what? I gotta say, I feel a little bad going after Australia because I know some sellers there, and I know it can be hard sometimes thrifting there, selling there. You know, when you're like a little island out in the middle of nowhere, it probably, it comes with its own challenges of reselling. But Linda did find something really cool this last week that she posted in the group. It was this Mickey Mouse Disney 90s t-shirt that she scored. I think it's pretty cool. We all like checked it out, looked at it. It's got
what is this cool Southwest theme?
Yeah, it's got like really cool Southwest theme. It's got some seriously awesome bling going on here, guys. I mean,
I didn't realize it was bling.
Oh yeah, it's like been bedazzled Disney style. Nice. So
nice.
Pretty cool shirt. So anyway, so that's shout out to Australia, to Linda down in Australia. So awesome find. I can't even imagine what it's like to go thrifting down there. I don't know what the deal is, like what kind of stores they have or what.
I don't know. I just know they have lots of really big bugs in Australia.
Yeah, lots of things that are going to like.
That kind of scares me away. So
yeah, pretty much.
That on the 15-hour flight.
Well, I think they have they say that they have like the highest concentration of like basically deadly bugs and animals, like basically things that bite you and then you're dead. So I don't know if I want to be hanging out down in Australia, but who knows? Anyway, so the next shout out is going to be for D Cox, who this picture is really, really tiny. But basically what happened is Dee said that she was doing kind of part-time, kind of dabbling in eBay back in May, and she decided she was going to make a full-time go at it. And so in June, she made it a goal that she wanted to get 300 listings up by the end of June. She managed, you can see this, it's really, really super tiny, but it says 312. She got her listings up to 312. And her numbers went up. Her sales went up over 84% over May because she got those listings up. And so we're just going to give her a shout out. So she made a goal. She set a goal. She met it, and she
surpassed it.
Yeah, well, she went a little bit past 300. Yeah. Looked like it was at 312. And it totally paid off.
Yeah, she's seeing the payoff now.
It totally paid off. So congrats to Dee. Way to go. Dawn says, so excited. I received my Boss Up t-shirt yesterday that I'm taking to wear at Open. Woo woo! Yay! That's super awesome. I'm going to get off the share now here real quick. Speaking of Boss Up t-shirts, I have like a few more designs that I put up, and they're still like in pending or processing right now.
Amazon pending mode.
I'm not, you know, I don't want to spoil the surprise, but I mean, there could be a cat one.
There could be.
There could be a cat Boss Up t-shirt, guys. I'm just saying. There could be. There might not be, but there could be. Who knows? You never know. You never know. But those designs are processing. I'll totally share them with you guys once they come up, but I'm pretty excited about it. Anyway, so the other shout out, so I have one more hashtag Boss Up shout out. This one is a huge shout out. This shout out actually goes to all of you guys, because I don't know if you saw my post that I just posted a little while ago in the Boss Facebook group, but the news has come out this morning. It's kind of buried. It took a while to like find it. I'm not sure really what eBay's doing. They've got good news and they're making it hard for us to find it. But anyway, they listened to us, you guys. So the whole 14-day sale, the whole like 14 days that you have to wait in order to put something on sale, you know, our understanding of it was that when it came out, it meant that when you listed something new, you had to wait 2 weeks before you could put it on sale, or if you changed the original price, you had to wait 2 weeks to put it on sale. But once they actually like kind of rolled out the changes, it turned out that you couldn't, that even if it was on sale and went off sale, that was considered a change in price. So basically what it turned into is, as soon as your stuff came off sale, you had to wait 2 weeks to put them on another sale. So let's say you're somebody who does a sale every weekend or every other weekend.
Or a progressive markdown sale.
Yeah, or like
you want to do like a flash, you know, Memorial Day weekend sale, or a, you know, July 4th weekend sale, like stores do, like online stores do, like retail stores and physical presences do.
Right. And so basically it really made it so you couldn't do a lot of these different things with sales. And the original intent behind the whole new policy was that they were trying to combat people who were artificially inflating prices to be able to do markdowns. So like if you've ever gone to like Kohl's or some of these stores, you know, it's like when they say like, look at this TV, it's $2,000, but you can get it for $800. And, you know, it's like artificially increasing your prices in order to put stuff on sale. And so I totally get that. There have been lawsuits that have been, you know, put up against companies who do this. So I get it, totally get it. But not allowing us to do like weekend sales or do a sale after another sale, like that doesn't really make any sense, right? And so a lot of people were upset about it. A lot of people gave feedback. We were encouraging people to go to eBay for Business and submit their feedback and let them know like how this hurts you as a seller.
Yeah, not just, hey, you suck, but hey, this is why this doesn't work for me in my business. And people were doing it.
And so people were doing, you guys were all like giving your feedback, and eBay actually did listen. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to share my screen one more time because I want you guys to see what this actually says. So they posted this morning in the eBay, on the eBay community page, which I'm not really sure like why they put everything here. I mean, I don't think people really like look at the community pages that much, unfortunately. So anyway, so at 7:30 this morning they posted, in the 2018 Summer Seller Update, we announced new changes to requirements for creating a markdown sales event that went into effect on June 25th, 2018. We listened to your feedback and have made a change to these markdown sales requirements. Sellers can now add items to a markdown sale event, even if the listing was previously in another sale event within the last 14 days, as long as the listing price has not been changed. Hooray! All right, I'm gonna get out of the screen share. So yeah, so that's like super awesome. Like that is great. They actually listen to us, guys. So that's awesome. Now I will say why they're only putting this announcement on the community board and it's like buried there so nobody sees it. I mean,
that nobody will see because
honestly, guys, eBay, listen to me. Listen to me. It is not the year 2001. People are on social media. Community boards are not what social media is about these days. If you want millennials, this needs to be on all your Instagram accounts. This needs to be in the eBay for Business Facebook page. This needs to be tweeted out. Like this information,
it needs to be, like as Teresa said, it needs to be on Facebook for us old people because as we know, the kids don't do the Facebook and we're not kids. But the younger generation and the millennials and what have you, they need to be on Instagram and Twitter.
And as I think it was Christiane who had suggested it before with stuff is that, you know, having it on the overview page of your seller hub, there should be like an announcement.
There should be
because here's the thing, guys. eBay has been getting beat up a lot the last week or two. Like there's been so many issues that have happened, so many glitches, all these problems. They've been getting beat up left and right, and for good reason. And so now here it's like, okay, we've got a victory. They actually listen to us.
There's a good thing.
They are responding to our feedback. They listen to us, and now relatively quickly they've changed things around and they've made some improvements. And it's like they should be like out blasting that. Like
they listen to the feedback, And the other thing too is that they did issue an apology of sorts for all the glitches yesterday, I believe it was. But that's also something that was not on the main pages anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. So the PR team needs to be like stepping it up because come on, guys,
I appreciate the apology. I'm pretty sure we all do. It was a little bit too long coming. You know, that they're trying to fix things, that they are apologized for the glitches. They're trying to move forward and make sure that they have put, you know, safe holds in place that this type of thing doesn't happen again. And they have realized that it affected sellers and they apologized for it, which is pretty much what we wanted to hear. Yes, please fix it, but please acknowledge what's going on. So they did do that finally, but again, it wasn't on the front page anywhere and it was buried somewhere on these boards as well. And if we didn't have social media and people finding these things and sharing them, we wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
but anyway, spread the word, guys, because that's the deal. I don't know according to this thing, it says you may now add items to markdown sale even if the listing was previously another sale event. I heard some people were having trouble this morning still starting sales. So I can't guarantee that, like, I mean, it is a holiday, so I would just, you know, give it a couple of days, maybe. Yeah. Be patient, give it a couple of days, but clearly, like, they have made this change to the policy. They are changing the way it's going to be implemented.
The fact that this came out today on a holiday at 7:30 a.m. when they're in Pacific Standard Time, that's kind of a big deal, I think.
Yeah.
Unless they scheduled it, I don't know.
But make sure you spread the word. Now, you know, I am a little frustrated because I marked down all of my stuff substantially because of the way the new rule was. And now I have to like kind of figure out, okay, do I increase I don't think I'm going to increase them back to their original prices, but I do think I want to increase my prices a bit. The problem is that now I'm going to increase my prices and I'm going to have to wait another 14 days before I can go on sale again. So whatever. It's just a challenge right now to kind of adjust to it. But bottom line, I'm super grateful that like they listened to us. I'm super proud of all of you guys for helping us to take a stand and put the word out because it is really, really super important. Now, as far as the other glitches go, if you are somebody and you were affected by the whole picture fiasco, or as I call it, Picturegeddon, and that hasn't been resolved, do make sure that you are writing to eBay for Business or calling eBay. And just so you know, they have been giving a lot of sellers like a month of store subscription credit. So if they don't offer that to you, flat out ask them for it. Let them know that you know that that's been happening. Because I do think that anyone who has who did lose a bunch of pictures, I do think that you deserve to be compensated for that.
There's a lot of work involved with putting that stuff back and a lot of hours of time. And even if you're able to find the cached version, it's still going to take you a long time to put it back. Not as long as if you had to retake all the photos. And there are plenty of people that have to do that too. So this is it's lost time and lost money, and time is money.
Yeah. So just make sure that you advocate for yourself, because that's what it's all about. Like, you can't get what you don't ask for.
They're not going to just randomly.
I mean, some people they are offering, and some people it's like they have to, you know, I was helping somebody who had to ask like 3 different times. Like, they really had to work to get them to give them the credit. So, but I do think anybody who's had to deal with these lost photos, it does mean more work. Even if you're able to recover the photos, you still have to go and like, update all of your listings in order to put those back in. So
some people did receive credits. I did. I received a credit. I know Katie did as well. We called our concierge, eBay concierge, but
so Pink Panther says the real question is what happens when stuff gets relisted after 30 days, sell similar, auto relisted if Li-Fi. Here's the thing: if your stuff is good till canceled, like that's the Li-Fi thing. If you list it and forget it, if you do good till canceled, it will not make any difference. You will not have to every 30 days. It won't reset the 14 days. It's just the first 14-day period. If you do sell similar, that does restart the clock. Personally, the way I'm doing it is I do good till canceled, and I'm giving it about a 3-month period to try and sell it before I end the listing and do sell similar. So every 3 months I will have to go through that 2-week waiting period. But I think that's fair. Like I do understand like the whole issue of people artificially inflating prices. So I don't mind that restriction at all.
See, I'm not sure about that. Thelma says they seem to favor the longtime sellers. If you don't persist, they don't comply with the credits. Well, they didn't offer it to me. I actually asked for it. And here's the thing. So there are also people that we advise to do this that are brand new sellers or pretty new sellers. So I'm not sure that that's the truth, Thelma. I just think it really depends on who you get on the phone and how you advocate for yourself and how you explain to them how it's affected your business. If you're missing if you didn't miss any pictures, then okay, maybe not. If you didn't have any effects from this, if you didn't have any glitches that you needed to fix, if not everybody was affected by it, that's not necessarily true. So maybe you didn't necessarily need the credit. They're just not. Let's just put it this way. They're just not going to randomly refund millions of sellers millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, you really have to, like Katie said, you have to advocate for yourself.
Yeah. As far as changing the title or making any other changes, blah, 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 does that restart the clock? I don't know. I know that for shipping, the only thing that, like, I'm not entirely sure why, but I know if you change it to free shipping, that does restart the clock. I don't know why.
Is it, Drummer, is it worth calling them? I mean, it depends on, it was worth it for me.
Yes, it is worth it. So, it is worth it if you're willing to advocate for yourself. Like I'm telling you, like be very nice.
Yes, because the people on the phone, it's not their fault.
Yeah, be very nice, be courteous, understand that they've been dealing with this for the last they've been dealing with like angry people calling them for a long time now. So, and it's not their fault. They didn't write the rules. They don't make the policies. They're just the ones that are hired to talk to you guys when you have issues. And so be super nice, but be firm and say, let them know how it's affected you, like how many pictures you lost, whatever. Let them know that you tried the whole thing. Cause there's the whole thing of like, oh, if you bulk edit and you don't actually change anything and then you submit it, that for some people it's replacing. It's like, putting the pictures back in. That didn't work for me. And so if that didn't work for you, then just make sure you say like, I tried the method that has been suggested by eBay and it did not work for me. And then basically say, that they are giving store credits and compensation and say that you would like to have the same.
Do it if you get here's the thing, you can message eBay for Business as well. Send them a very nice message and they will get back to you. Their turnaround time is about 3 or 4 days at this point, at least, because they are being inundated. Or you can call and wait on hold. If you are a member that has the concierge service, that if you were at eBay Open last year, you were given the concierge service, absolutely use concierge. Because you will get through much faster. But if you don't have an anchor store with your own dedicated line, then you may have to wait a bit. So you may have to put your phone, on speaker and put it aside while you're working and wait until you get through to a person. It's up to you what way you want to do it. But definitely advocate for yourself. I mean, you're just going to do what you do. I didn't, I wasn't able to I didn't have any photo issues, but I had a lot of other issues with pricing and my business policies. My shipping screwed up on like 400 things. So I don't know how this is going to affect me because everything I do is as far as the new sale thing, because everything I do is on 30 days right now. I no longer use good till canceled. I may switch back to good till canceled just so that I'm able to run sales again and then just, have to cycle through.
I mean, I'm in the point right now where because I just changed all my prices, nothing can go on sale for a while. And when I switch those again, but in the future, even if you're doing 30 days, I mean, you have that 14 days you can't put stuff on sale, but everything is cycling through. So it's really only going to be a certain percentage of your items that, once everything's back to normal, it's only going to be your newly listed stuff. everything else will be able to go on sale. So I don't really see it as that big of a deal. I just have the problem of like not being able to put a single item in my store on sale right now. So, but yeah, so, and have we worked any strategies for sales? I mean, I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that, but there are the other things. You can do promotions. You can do, they do have, the different options for promotions. There's ones where you can do a sale on everything, but the only problem is that it shows up at the bottom of your screen for a listing. It'll say like, extra 20% off if you buy 3, or whatever percentages you want to do. You can actually do a mark off on the actual price, just with no, item limitations or requirements, but it's like, how do you even know if anyone sees it, because it's down at the bottom, and then you're just basically giving stuff away for cheaper. So it's like, I'm using a promotion. I think I'm doing like buy 3 get an extra 20% off. I don't know if that's going to work. It does help that I have a lot of similar items, so if somebody did want to come in and like shop for t-shirts, that might entice them, but otherwise,
yeah, that's kind of one of those, I've never used promotions that way. I've just used the markdown manager to run sales, either in certain categories or on my whole store. So I've never used the promotions because I don't have multiples of anything and I sell a bazillion different things, that somebody coming into my store is not necessarily going to go and buy 5 different dresses that are, so, or a canister set for their kitchen and a set of wheel covers, It's they don't really work. That type of sale doesn't really work for me for what I sell with all used and one-offs. But for Katie, where she's got definitely a niche product, where she's got a lot of t-shirts or a lot of jerseys or things like that, that could work really well if you have something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Gretchen says, bright side, at least it's happening now and was corrected not during the fourth quarter.
I agree.
And that's why they do a lot of their changes. Like whenever they do kind of big updates and big changes like this, they do generally, I think, try to do them when it's a slower time of year anyway. So, I mean, on the upside, it's like it doesn't interfere during our best selling time, but on the downside, we're already like our sales are already down a little bit for a lot of people. So it's just kind of like kicking you while you're down if there is a problem. But hopefully, they're going to continue to be working on this stuff. So anyway, so my boss shout out was, again, to all of you guys. I hope that some of you are feeling like some sort of like vindication and realizing like, oh, it actually does work when we give feedback to eBay.
It worked when they tried to have everyone add remove their watermarks from pictures. I don't use them, but I did years ago. It used to be a thing. And they wanted everyone to bulk edit and remove watermarks from their photos, which was not necessarily an easy thing for a lot of people to do. And there was a lot of pushback on that. So they ended up canceling that update because of the pushback, because it really wasn't as important as they kind of thought it was. So they listen to the sellers. I'm not saying they listen every time, when there's a discount or we lose our 10% on something or what have you. I'm not saying that those type of changes are going to change, because they're probably not. This was one that made sense.
People are going to freak out about every single change. And a lot of times the changes, I understand them and I think that they are going to be good in the long run. But I also get that, like, there's going to be times like this where it's like a change that is not good at all, and we have to put our voices together.
And they may not have thought of all of the people that necessarily come up with these changes may not be sellers themselves, may not utilize the platform in the same way. So I think what they don't understand is maybe they didn't realize all the different ramifications for these type of restrictions and how it was going to affect certain sellers or the majority of sellers that use it in certain ways. So I think hearing the pushback and hearing the feedback and going, oh, we hadn't thought of that. Oh, wait, you can't run a Black Friday sale, then you won't be able to have a sale again until after Christmas. And things like that are really going to affect people. So it makes sense to me.
Loves Vintage says, I used to run 40 to 50% off sales. I now may have to run a 10 to 15% off with the new sale rule. Do you think smaller percentage markdowns will work just as good as the larger? Listen, I'm the exact same way. I used to do 40 and 50% off sales. I dropped all my prices 40% when this whole thing came out. I don't want to raise them up to their old prices because, again, even with the new thing where we can run back-to-back sales, when I initially raise all my prices back up, I'm going to have to wait 2 weeks with nothing being on sale, and I don't think I can sustain that in my store, actually have sales for the next 2 weeks. So what I'm thinking about doing is maybe raising all my prices 20%, and then just holding out for the 2 weeks and hope that, like, having my best offer stuff turned on, which I do for only listens anyway, will help with that. I mean, some people swear by 12% sales. Some people swear by 23%. I mean, it doesn't, it really, I don't know.
Everybody's business is a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know, I run anywhere from 15% off to 33% off, depending on certain categories, or if it's a really slow month and I'm trying to generate some business. Sometimes I'll run a short-term sale for 33% off, but I don't always keep it that high. You know, everybody's got their own pricing strategy. I don't know what works for one person is not going to work for another.
Yeah.
It all depends on what you sell, and
so I just have to,
what your margin is, all that kind of stuff.
I just have to adjust and hope that, figure out a new groove for how I do things. But I do appreciate that we can do those sales back to back now. So anyway, so let's get to kind of what we wanted our conversation today to be about. So, talking about gaining your independence as a reseller, obviously, like, what a lot of these issues with eBay kind of highlighted for me, and this is something that's been out there forever. People say diversify, sell on multiple platforms, make sure you have, revenue coming in from, multiple sources. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. And like, yes, intellectually, I completely understand that. But I also know that I pretty much put all my energy into eBay. It's like, that's the platform I really like. And so that's just where I focus things. And it's the same for Victoria. Unfortunately, when things go wrong with the one platform that you're putting 95% of your energy into, it hurts that much more because you're dependent on being able to sell consistently on that one platform. So it certainly has kind of kicked me in the pants to make sure that I'm actually actively working on other platforms, expanding out, finding other ways to bring in revenue while still focusing on eBay.
eBay's still my favorite marketplace. And I will tell you that people keep talking about leaving and diversifying and all that kind of stuff. Well, the more people that leave, the more room it leaves for me on eBay to sell my stuff. That's how I feel. But the other thing is that I've been doing this for, I've been selling on eBay for more than 15 years. I've been selling consistently for 12 years and full-time for 8 years. I have been hearing since my 15 years ago when I started selling, make sure you don't put all your eggs in one basket. That is a pretty common phrase that you hear for people that do online selling. Everyone kept saying that the way to do this was to get your own website. Well, guess what? Having your own website does not draw the kind of traffic that eBay draws to your wares, whatever they may be. I have branched out to a couple of other things here and there, but for me, eBay is where I'm comfortable. eBay is where I make the most money. I do well. I'm able to change when they make changes, and I've prospered because of eBay. So I'm not planning on giving up my eBay business. I will change as needed in order to make it continue to work for me. But trying new things is not a bad idea. And I'm a very stuck in my ways kind of person. So I don't like change. So I don't like trying new things very often. But hey, I mean, there are certain things that I'm willing to try and see how they work for me.
Yeah. Well, let's just talk about okay, so there's a lot of different ways that you can make money online. There's a lot of different websites, a lot of different platforms. So let's, kind of, it's like, I'm not an expert in this. Clearly, I'm figuring this out at the same time you guys are and trying to branch out some more. I've already dabbled in different things like Etsy for a long time now. So I'm not sitting here as like, here, I'm going to teach you guys how to do this, but let's just kind of talk through it. And I would say first of all, there's like hundreds of different sites, and there's a certain amount that are at the very top that everybody knows about, but there's so many different avenues that you can go to sell stuff online. Some are better than others. And so it's really important that you kind of, research which ones are out there available to you, and then kind of figure out which ones align with your interests and your selling style.
And your items, the things that you sell. I mean,
right. Absolutely. Because there's a bunch of different things. Obviously there's eBay, there's Amazon. There's merch by Amazon, where you can design t-shirts. There's Etsy, there's Poshmark, there's Mercari, there's Facebook Marketplace, along with the other ones, locally. There's OfferUp,
Let It Go, or Let Go.
Is Depop, is that one that's local, or I don't know. Anyway, and then some people are even, selling on Instagram. It's really big in the streetwear community. So there's all these different places you can sell stuff.
Plus there's antique places. There's Ruby Lane. There's lots of places that people focus specifically on antique items. There are Facebook specific groups that you sell, specified items, collectors of certain whatever. If you've got, let's say you're a Pyrex collector, there are Pyrex Facebook groups, or you're a doll collector, there are vintage doll collector groups, all that type of stuff. There's always ways to focus if you have a niche.
But like we've talked about, there's certain ones that are going to align with me and like are going to make sense for me. Poshmark doesn't work for me because I know myself and I know that like I'm terrible at like keeping on top of like sharing stuff through social media. So having like working on a platform where that's like a requirement, if that's a big part of it, it's just not going to work for me. So I'm not going to put my time into that.
And that's how I feel about Poshmark. I mean, and there's many people doing really well and touting all of the wonderful things about Poshmark. And I say, if it works for you, great. If it's something that works for you, go for it. For me personally, I belong to a group that is all about social media sharing. And I struggle trying to do my work within that group to be part of the team. So I know how difficult that is for me. I have to specifically focus myself and do that. There is no way that I am going to be able to do hours of sharing on Poshmark. And for me, it's not going to work for me.
So what are the different platforms that you're selling on right now?
So right now I am obviously eBay. Everything I sell is on eBay. I also list on Bonanza. Bonanza is one of those websites. I've been on Bonanza for more than 10 years.
But you don't list on Bonanza. You just have it set up. You have it connected to your eBay account.
I have it connected to my eBay account. It's seamless. It automatically duplicates all of your listings that you have on eBay on Bonanza. I've been on Bonanza for more than 10 years, for whenever it started. And it doesn't cost me anything. It just seamlessly takes all of my inventory that is on eBay and shows it on Bonanza. Bonanza's final value fees are just a little bit less than eBay's. I believe they're 9%. In all categories. Doesn't cost you anything to list because it's just there. So, and what it does is it syncs with your eBay account. So if you sell something on Bonanza, you will get the email, you get your PayPal payment, and then it automatically ends your eBay listing. Some people have said that they've had glitches or issues with it. I'm not one of those people. I've been using it. I synced once 10 years ago. I've never done it again, and it works for me.
How often do you sell on there?
I probably sell, some months are better than others. I actually haven't had a sale there in a few weeks, but usually I'm going to sell 1 to 2 items a week.
I know the thing with Bonanza, I don't do Bonanza. I did for a while, but I know one thing with Bonanza is that, you can do it that way. It doesn't cost you anything. And then every once in a while you might get a sale, and that's nice. You can actually go and there's like paid levels.
They
will. It's like, I think they increase your level in the search.
Your Google ad space
something
or
like
whatever.
that. So really, I have no idea like how well that works, or if there's
anyone. Neither do I. I've never paid for it. I don't pay anything.
I don't know that I've ever talked to anybody who's like, I make tons of money on Bonanza. So
no, it's just a cheap. Not cheap. It's free. I mean, it's a free secondary area.
Yeah.
When you run things on sale on eBay, the sale is going to transport to Bonanza. And sometimes your eBay sale may have ended and you're going to get the sale price is what something's going to sell for on Bonanza. That if there's like a couple of days lag between when they, when they upload or when they resync, I don't think they sync continually. I think it probably syncs once a week or once every couple of days. I'm not sure 100% on that, but I don't have a problem with it. Yeah. eCrater is another one. It's not something that I know anything about. So I do Bonanza. I do have an Etsy store. I literally have not put anything in my store in over a year. I have about 60 items in there now that are over a year old that are cross-posted on Facebook. My plan is to get back into Etsy by fourth quarter and start putting more of my good vintage items there.
Yeah.
When I do sell on Etsy, I do get more money for my my items because I do sell a lot of vintage and I really like vintage and I think I have a pretty good eye for it. So when I have some really quality items, I like to have them in the Etsy store. I've just been so busy and so lazy that I really haven't put any time into the Etsy store. So I do have a whole storefront set up. I just need to get in there and cross promote. And then the other thing that I sell, I do sell on Amazon. I'm one of those people that's been grandfathered in for a long time. So I do sell media on Amazon, but it's everything that I already have cross-posted on eBay as well. So I sell CDs and records and DVDs and books. So not a ton. I do all merchant fulfilled. So that means I ship when it sells. I don't send anything into Amazon. I've never done FBA on anything. And then the other thing too is I do have a Merch by Amazon account, but the only thing I ever designed was my Pink Panther t-shirt last year. I've sold like 25 of them, but they were only to like friends and family and to me because I bought them for other people. So it's not even a public thing.
Allison says that Poshmark is great for selling shoes. And then the buyer pays $7 for shipping anything 5 pounds and under. Yeah. So it's like something like Poshmark. It's like if you're somebody who would be totally into doing all the social media sharing side of it, and maybe you love thrifting and selling shoes, then that might be a good place for you to like focus some of your time and attention. The other thing, so first of all, it's like you do need to figure out like which ones are the right fit for you. But then I think that the next step, and this is the thing that like I have not, up until now, I haven't done like I need to, and that is committing to those streams that you choose. So we both sell on eBay, and eBay we're totally committed to. Like we do the whole, every day I do like the listing challenge thing in the Boss Facebook group, the hashtag 2 or 2, and 2 or 2 means, the whole thing, and it's very eBay focused, which I need to like start expanding it a little more, but it's very eBay focused because for people who are like super eBay savvy and been doing it for a while, like we have, that like it's really important that your store stays super active. And we know eBay specifically does take into account the activity in your store when it comes to like where you show up in search results, which is why a lot of times when you're selling or when you're listing super regularly, you start selling older stuff because it does boost your store overall. Mm-hmm. And so the whole 2 or 2 challenge is just no matter what you're doing, even if you take a day off, trying and list at least 2 new items, or ending your 2 oldest items and doing similar, reworking them, which is essentially having 2 brand new listings as well. Doing that every single day and being committed to that is going to help you in the long run on eBay specifically. But any other sites or platforms that you are trying to make money on, you have to commit to them too. You have to be, I don't know how their algorithms work, but I guarantee you, I know with me, I listed regularly on Etsy for like a few weeks last year, and I started to get regular sales, and then I stopped completely. And it's like every once in a while, sporadically, I get those sales. But once you have some sort of routine, and you have like build a habit where like every single day you are giving some attention to the different platforms that you are working on, it's going to translate into sales. And if you aren't doing that, if you aren't committed to each of those, then that's not going to work. If you have 10 different platforms, like I hear people be like, I've got 2 things on Amazon, I've got 2 things over Etsy, and every once in a while I throw something onto this. It's like that's never going to be it's going to be change in your pocket, and that's it. It's never going to be anything, which is why my Etsy store has done practically nothing in the last year.
Me too. I've given it no love. I've done nothing with it. My sales, I have some stale old listings on there. That's it.
Yeah.
It's not costing me anything. What is it, like $3, I think, every 3 months for my listing fees on Etsy. And every once in a while I sell something and go, oh, I had an Etsy sale. Where'd that come from?
So,
so I mean, and again, it gets a little bit more complicated too with people that have difficulty with their organization. When you're cross-posting on multiple venues and you have to pull down listings from one when something sells, that's something you have to keep on top of too. If that's something that you have difficulty with, or you're going to have difficulty finding your items, or you already struggle with that type of thing, don't be listing on 17 different platforms, because you're just going to shoot yourself in the foot. None of the other platforms that I'm aware of will penalize you for canceling a sale, but eBay will. And eBay is, I don't care who you are, eBay is going to be your major bread and butter for sales in general. I mean, it's a platform that is known and tried and true. And yes, they do have their glitches, they do have their issues, but eBay is still the biggest dog in the playground.
Now I have I have almost 1,700 listings in eBay, and so that's where my full-time income comes from. But I can tell you from my experience I've had with Etsy in the past, when I did have more stuff on there, if I had a similar number of listings on Etsy and I was active on there, I would probably be able to make a full-time income on there as well. I really do believe that. I did when I very first started with eBay, and I had like limited number of how many things I could have for sale. I went full in with Amazon FBA at the same time, and almost immediately I was making really good money there. I didn't like the platform. So in that case, that platform just didn't work for me. It wasn't a good match with my personality, my selling style. So even though I was making good money on it, I kind of, I stopped doing that. So I'm not going to call this advice because I haven't done it yet. So I think it's silly for me to say like, here, I'm giving you advice of how you should do this.
Right.
But here's like what I'm going to do. And I would challenge some of you to like maybe come along on this journey with us and maybe do the same thing. Listen, let's as a community, let's focus this next week on identifying like a limited number of platforms. And they might be platforms that maybe you've already started a little bit with Posh. Maybe you're like me and you've started a little bit with Etsy. So let's identify, okay, these are the platforms, like definitely eBay. I know some of you might not even be eBay sellers, but for me, I would say, okay, definitely eBay, committed to eBay, working on that every single day. That's not going to stop. That's not going to change. So that's my number 1 platform.
Same.
I've already decided in the last week that Etsy is my number 2 platform. Okay. And so for the last, I don't know, handful of days, every single day I've been listing, every single day I've been putting stuff on Etsy. And so that is my new commitment to myself and my business, is I'm doing that with Etsy. The next one I have that I want to focus on as well is Merch by Amazon. I have a Merch by Amazon account. Right now I just have a few Boss Up t-shirts that I've created, that I've submitted. And so those are just for myself and some of you guys if you're interested. But it's not, I don't really intend those to be any kind of big money maker on a large scale. It's like I get like a couple bucks for a t-shirt, and people out there aren't going to even know what a Boss Up t-shirt is with a cat on it anyway. But I haven't committed to this yet, but I want to. I do have a graphic design background, and I have all the software I need to do it. So it's just a matter of coming up with ideas and starting to submit designs.
I have a little notebook of ideas that I've literally had my merch account with Amazon for well over 2 years. One shirt I put on it. Here's the thing. I have absolutely zero design skills. So maybe collaborating would be okay with us on a few things. But here, I can't design anything. I have ideas in my head. I can't put them on paper. Like my logo for my Pink Panther logo was something that I had in my head. My website was something I had in my head. I was able to scratch draw it and had someone else, I paid somebody to do the design work for me. I know what I want to say. I know what I want to do, but I have no skills with that type of stuff. I don't understand the software. So, I have a few ideas, and I'd like to get some stuff up there too, more than just words on a shirt. I don't know how to do the other stuff. So,
and I actually do. So that's where we can partner up and get some ideas together, and I can actually start like designing stuff and submitting it. And then for me, of course, there's also YouTube. Like YouTube for me it is about like helping people and being a part of the community. And I do like kind of being, I guess, like a community cheerleader. Like I am a super positive person. I want to help people, but I mean, let's be real. It is a potential source of income as well. You can monetize it. I've got ads on my videos. But it's like, if you want to do something like a YouTube channel, that's, again, you have to figure out, are you the right fit for it? Do you have the personality for it? Do you have the personality on screen for it? I know lots of people who have amazing personalities, and the second they're in front of a camera, they freeze up and it doesn't translate.
And there are some people that have YouTube channels that have plenty to say and are just not that, entertaining. And I'm not trying to be a jerk about it. I'm not saying that we're the most entertaining thing in the world. And don't get me wrong. There are plenty of people that are not going to like our content. Not everybody does
a YouTube channel because they necessarily want to make money off of it, or they want to. It could just be that they just want to hang out with their friends in a small community and do their live videos together. That's great. But, like for me, it's like, this is something that I want to be part of my professional life. And so I know, any of you that followed me from the very beginning, when I first started my YouTube channel, my videos were super sporadic. I'd go weeks, a month, 2 months without posting anything. And then I would post something. And then like a few weeks later, I'd post something else. And really what was going on is, and I talked about it in the beginning, like I was kind of I wanted to figure out organically what the channel was going to be about, what it was going to look like, what the tone of it was going to be, what the purpose was. And for the first several, like 6 months or so, I just didn't know. And I get an idea and then I try it and then I'm like, it just doesn't feel right. And she'd be like, you haven't done a video in like a few weeks. And I'd be like, I know. And I just hadn't hit my groove.
You're trying to find your voice. You didn't know.
I didn't know what I wanted it to be. And then at the beginning of 2018, it's like, for whatever reason, I went through the whole moving process where I was doing videos about that, but that was obviously not going to go on forever. But then all of a sudden it like came to me like kind of an idea of like how I was going to format it. And before long, all of a sudden I had like a schedule of videos, and now it's like super important that every Sunday we do that Sunday live haul show. Every Wednesday we do this Boss Up and List show. And then I usually try to do like at least one other video during the week. But it's like, I have to be committed to that. Like I have to be serious about that. If I want the channel to grow, if I want people to stay engaged, if I actually want my voice to get out there, I want people to be paying attention, it's super important that I'm consistent and I keep a schedule, because people need that consistency to keep coming back. So for me, that's what I'm doing. So I guess that's 4 things. I've got eBay, I've got Merch by Amazon, I've got Etsy, and then I've got my YouTube. Those are kind of like my 4 main I am part of like the Amazon affiliate program, but that's just like throwing links up somewhere to bring in a little bit extra. But so that's like, those are the 4.
If that happens.
Right. If that happens. So those are like the 4 things that I personally am working on committing myself to putting time into every single one of them every single day. So
for me, it's eBay, of course. I am committed to getting some more of my stuff cross-posted on Etsy, whether that is something I'm going to do myself or at something I'm going to hire Dana for more hours to do. It's going to be one of the two. So, or both. I definitely need to get that going for fourth quarter. Merch by Amazon, I'm happy to collaborate with you on stuff as far as that goes. I'm probably not going to do a heck of a lot on my own for that, just because I just don't have the skills. So, and I'm not going to use Fiverr like everybody else and design t-shirts. That's not something I'm looking to.
You got me.
This is true, but unless it's something super easy, there's no reason for it. You know, it's just not going to be a huge revenue stream.
I think bottom line, we're probably going to be teaming up and we'll come up with ideas together and I'll do the designs and maybe I'll give you some money.
Oh, okay. Kind of like YouTube. It's her channel for sure. I'm just in 75% of the videos and shows. So I think I have an equal number.
She's teasing me because anytime I talk about the YouTube stuff, she says, it's money for our wedding fund. And I just think it's funny because it's like basically she's already spending the money, which I haven't made yet. I haven't made any money on it yet.
Right,
so,
right.
But she's already decided what she's going to spend it on. So
well, I didn't say I was going to go buy a pair of shoes. I'm saying it's good for the wedding fund because it's not like you make millions. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you know, people can Google. I'm sure it's not a ton of money, but it's nice. It's something extra. We enjoy doing the shows anyway. So the fact that you can monetize it and make a little bit of money out of it is a good thing. Because you know, we're not charging to help people, and we don't intend to. So
hold on, Allison is designing a T-shirt that's going to say "Sack Up and Ship." Copyright and patent pending.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's kind of like Teresa's shut up and list.
Sack up and ship.
Sack up and ship. I like it. Have you thought of getting married at eBay Open? God, no.
No.
No. We did meet at eBay Open last year.
Yeah,
so,
no. We're getting married probably in October of next year, 2019. So
yeah. So we're going to get, you know, we have a lot of friends and family from different states that are going to want to come in and it will happen here in Vegas, but not a Vegas wedding, not getting married by Elvis, no drive-through chapel. It's going to be a real wedding.
Yeah. Marcy says on Etsy, is there a way to do a history type search like you do on eBay, like looking at solds to see if the same item is sold there? I don't know, to be honest. I don't know enough. What? Hold on, guys.
You're very first.
I got speaking of YouTube. Oh man, the money's starting to roll in, guys. Allison from Big Drip Thrift just did my very first super chat. What, Trevor? Anyway, my very first super chat on YouTube and told me to get myself something. You know, I do a lot of thrifting, so it's very possible I could get something to make myself pretty
for $1.99. It is possible.
Drummer, sure. Now Drummer is just being cruel. They said have a 4th of July Krispy Kreme on me in the super chat. We're not supposed to be eating Krispy Kreme, Drummer.
I know, but I saw the coupon. I think Teresa sent me a coupon.
I do kind of feel like
you get a free dozen. You buy one get one free dozen donuts at Krispy Kreme today.
I do feel like when someone from our community who is showing support gives us money out of their own pocket
to go buy Krispy
Kreme, I think it would be disrespectful. I think it would be a slap in the face if we were like, sorry, it's not keto. I mean, I'm just saying.
So what you're saying is we're going to go buy some Krispy Kreme today, maybe?
I mean, it is the 4th of July and America loves Krispy Kreme. I don't know.
You're not going to get a complaint from me. This fat kid likes donuts. It's my favorite.
He's going to treat yourself, girls. Anyway, thanks guys. I really appreciate it. That was very, very exciting. I hadn't had the super chat yet. So now
it's the first one.
Now the first two now. And I'm pretty stoked that Allison, you got to be the very first. So thank you so much. And
Allison Drummer, that's kind of dirty. Hey now, this is a family show. By the way, Jerry's piping in here. Jerry is a fellow keto friend. Jerry and his wife Brenda are also
we're gonna eat that Krispy Kreme. Drummer gave us $15 for Krispy Kreme, and we're gonna eat it. Okay?
I'm gonna send you a picture. Have a big bite taken out of a Krispy Kreme donut, Jerry.
Anyway, but Allison, that $1.99, I am going to keep that in mind when I'm out thrifting, and at some point I'll share it on the show. At some point when I find something to make myself pretty for that $1.99, I'll make sure I share it. Okay, so don't you worry.
Oh, look, we got another super chat going.
Mindy, yay!
Thanks, Mindy.
Wow, you guys are just like busting out. Thank you so much. You guys are
really
awesome.
Sweet.
We do really, really, really appreciate it. Anyway, so as I was saying, that's my challenge to all of you guys. If you guys want to come along with the challenge with us, this is about like what I said, it's 4th of July. It's our Independence Day. It is resellers, independence. That means not being dependent on any one avenue of making money, of making revenue, any one revenue stream, not being dependent on any one platform. It is about going out there, and again, we're not the first people to say this. People have been saying this for a long time, and I just haven't been listening.
And we're not, you know, let's face it, we're all middle range sellers, just like a lot of you guys, small time sellers, middle range sellers. We're not multi-million-dollar sellers by any stretch of the imagination. We are one people show, and occasionally I have Dana come and help me take some pictures, and you know, hopefully give her a few more hours working heading into the 4th quarter here to help me increase my sales. But you know what, like, the other independence thing works too. Like for me, it's independent from ever having to work for somebody else. And I haven't for over 8 years, and I've been able to, you know, pay my bills and keep a roof over my head and be independent. And Katie's been doing this now for a couple of years full time without having to get a real job. So I'm hoping to continue that. I don't want to have to work for someone else again personally. Yeah.
And I just want to say, Mindy Daigle, way to go on branding yourself by being a little bit out of the norm. $9.89. Nice work. Nice work.
I know, right? I like that.
But yeah, it's like the whole independence thing. It's like, yeah, we do well for just being, you know, each having our own store. Our store's not together. We each have our own separate store.
We
do well, but we are completely dependent on one platform.
Yeah.
And if something, you know, looking at things the way they went this last week, I know for me, and I don't think it was coincidence, my sales were almost non-existent for a number of days. And if that happened for even a little bit more extended period of time, like it would really, really hurt my income. And so I think it's important for all of us to really make sure that we aren't putting everything into any one place. I don't anticipate ever having a different platform where I'm making as much or more, but who knows? But right now it is eBay. But again, challenge to everybody. Let's all commit to either just exploring some other platforms or putting some time into some other platforms. And let's start looking at this as a bigger picture and really kind of fostering those, because, you know, there's some things where it's like now when I sit down to list, you know, I'm looking at, I'm doing my eBay thing, and then if it's something that can go on Etsy, I just do it right then. So it's like, it's all part of the same, you know,
the nice
process.
thing about having 2 screens.
Yeah.
You know, sure. if you don't have 2 screens and you don't work on a desktop or laptop, you know, type of model, I highly suggest it. It's not something you can do from your phone. Yeah. So it makes life a little bit easier to have 2 monitors. Monitors are cheap enough.
2 monitors.
I do too.
And they're cheap. They're so cheap, guys.
And you can get them on Facebook Marketplace, all kinds of yard sales. You could pay $15 for a monitor that works. It doesn't matter. And having 2 monitors makes life so much easier. I don't know why I waited so long to do it. I've had 2 monitors now for a few years, and I'm never going back to only having 1. Even if one of them is just playing Netflix in the background, which it does frequently while I'm working, I love having that. And let's see, Gretchen had a comment there, and she said it's a real job. You both work hard.
It is a real job.
You're absolutely right. I will tell you that I work far more hours for myself than I ever did for anyone else.
But I love it.
But I love what I do, and I love having the freedom to do what I want to do. And like one of the things, I'm going away next week, so I will be here for next Wednesday's show, but I will be missing 2 shows after that. I'll be missing 2 of our Sunday shows.
Yeah.
So, you know, I go away twice a year to go and volunteer my time working with a community that is important to me, and the burn community, children and adults that are burn survivors. But if I worked for someone else, I would not be able to take 10 days twice a year and go and volunteer my time. When you work if you work for a 9-to-5 job, you're really lucky if you get 1 week's vacation, maybe 2 sometimes, and you don't necessarily get to take it when you want to. Sometimes there are time restrictions depending on the type of company you work for. Right. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't ever want to have to work for someone else that will not allow me to do what I love to do. I work as hard as I do on eBay to allow me the freedom to do what I want to do that makes me happy. So
yeah. For sure.
So we got some pictures.
We have one. Hold your horses there, lady. Hold your horses.
Sorry.
I thought we already talked about how this is my YouTube channel. And
exit stage left.
Anyway, guys, what do you need for a converter to support the 2 monitors? It depends. If you have a desktop like I do, you can put just 2 monitors that you can attach as 2 monitors. So it's not a problem. In Victoria's case, she works with a laptop, but she does have monitors hooked up to it. Laptops generally have one port for your monitor, so you do have to get some sort of converter. I got one for her that basically converted it into a USB because her regular one goes into the HDMI, and there's only one HDMI port in her laptop. So I actually had to get an HDMI, I think, to USB converters.
I mean, I use a laptop. I don't know why I bought a laptop, to be honest with you. I've always had one. I just like the freedom to be able to take it with me if I need to. I have literally taken it with me one time anywhere. I keep it closed on my desk. It's virtually a desktop because I use it as a desktop. It's closed. It's attached to the 2 monitors. I have a wireless mouse and a keyboard, and it may as well be a desktop.
Yeah, pretty much. Jar, we are both on Windows. Yes, both on Windows. We don't do Apple.
Yeah, I'm not a Mac person. Sorry.
I'm not either. I am a Windows, or I prefer Android, Chrome, all that stuff.
See, like Debbie, Uptown Bug says, just a second one. Just got a second one. Can't believe how awesome it is. Should have done it long ago. I completely agree. I did it first time.
It just makes it so much easier. And when you're listing, and you can on one screen you've got your listing going, on your other screen maybe you're doing some research. It just makes a huge difference. And like if you're just when I'm doing my eBay to Etsy, what I do is I do my eBay listing first, and before I hit submit, I actually go over and do my Etsy listing, because then I have the same photos to move over there, and it's easier to like just transfer information between
drag and
the 2.
drop. If you
it just makes it a lot easier. What kind of laptop do you have?
I couldn't tell you, Stacey.
You don't want to ask her for advice on
message me and I'll look for you. I am so not an electronics person. I will tell you that I had a friend of mine research them for me for what I need. I just bought it a year ago. And I think I bought it on Amazon, and it's a Dell. I just don't know what version of it is. And I spent under $500, and I basically had a friend of mine research it for what I need, so that I'd be that person that would walk into the store and someone would tell me I need an $1,800 laptop. I'd go, okay.
Yeah.
But I really don't. I'm not a gamer. I'm not designing. There's only so much I need. So I had someone research it for me.
Had I been around when she was doing this, I would have said, why are you getting a laptop? Because we did take it with us when we went to the East Coast, but it's like, really, she uses it as a desktop. And if you're not going to use it as a laptop, you're better off with a desktop, because a desktop, you're going to be able to get more for your money, like a lot more power and RAM.
What did I know? I don't know.
But that's only her. Most people are going to want to have the laptop version because they want to be able to go to different places and stuff like that. But hers just sits there and all that stuff.
See, Alice says her Mac is on a docking station. Yeah, same thing. I don't have a docking station, but it's the same thing. It's shut and plugged in and just sitting there on my desk. So yeah.
Loves Vintage. They do not have to be the same monitors at all.
No, mine are 2 different brands.
Mine are the same, just because I like having them be exactly the same, because it would bug me to have 2 different
Mine are
ones,
the same height and the same size, but they're 2 different brands.
Yeah, you don't need them to be 2, or you don't need them to be
one
the
of
same.
mine burnt out and I had to get another one. So
yeah. Your iPhone can connect to broadcast YouTube videos to your TV through. Oh yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
I broadcast stuff to my TV, because I actually have, so I've got my 2 screens, and then I actually have my flat screen TV right over here. So I'm usually watching.
She does have a TV in her office.
Shows.
I don't have one in my office. We don't have multiple TVs in this house. I just never have. Katie has one in her office because she brought it with her when she moved. Otherwise, I've only had one TV in my family room my whole life. I don't believe in TVs in the bedroom and stuff like that. I know other people do. No judgment. It's just who I am.
Whatever, judgy.
So I don't have one in my office. And I also don't even have the place to put one the way that my office is situated. I could probably put one up on the wall, but it would be like behind my desk. So it doesn't work for me in my office. But that's one of the reasons why I love having 2 monitors, because I do like watching Netflix and stuff like that. And I just have it, streaming whatever I'm catching, I binge watch different series and things like that playing while I'm listening.
Yeah. Me too.
So
right now I'm watching on Netflix. It's called like Embarrassing Bodies. It's some British show. It's a lot of people with weird stuff on their bodies.
Isn't it like a plastic surgery?
And all of a sudden you look up and you see some really unquestionable bits, and it's kind of fun. It's a little weird. People with different growths in different places.
You can tell it's not American TV because they don't show that stuff in America.
No, they don't. They do on this. But anyway, Mindy, I want to say, Mindy says, I see you two as value creators rather than as content creators. Thank you, Mindy. I really appreciate that.
That's nice.
She says that we're taking our valuable time and transferring that value to the community. Well, we appreciate
that's kind of what we're trying
that.
to do. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're hoping to help. You know, again, like I recognize that I do take a leadership role, but I'm not always going to have all the answers. A lot of times I'm not going to know what I'm talking about. And sometimes it's just going to be about like trying to keep people motivated. And that doesn't necessarily come with me giving you the advice. It's just like, hey, let's stay positive. Let's stay motivated. Let's do this. That's where this challenge comes in.
And I'm the negative Nelly.
She is the negative. She's
so
Chicken Little.
I'm the, you know, a negative one of us for sure. I'm very much an overreactor. My nickname is Chicken Little. There's a reason for that. Everything that goes wrong is like, oh my God, the sky's falling.
Yeah. When something happens, my immediate response is to be like, okay, what are some solutions? How can we fix this? What good can come out of this? How do we deal with this challenge? Her immediate response is to be like,
F this, I'm quitting.
It's usually flipping tables, breaking stuff.
She's very calm to my crazy.
Which is why I'm the IT person in the house. Because when something goes wrong with the computer, I'm the one that I'm like, I need you to get up and leave the room. And I'm going to deal with this situation here because otherwise she would be probably throwing monitors, printers, and things like that and breaking them. So
yeah. I know what my faults are, and that's one of them. So she's very calm and analytical, and she's a fixer. And I am very much an overreactor, and my emotions lead before my brain. So yes, Lorna is very much like me. That's absolutely true. So anyway, I think we balance each other well because of that. So anyway.
She makes me appreciate how much hating things can feel good. Just kidding. I'm kidding. Anyway, guys. All right, awesome. I think we're running out of time for today. We should get back to work or get back to celebrating the 4th of July. I hope you guys are going to have some fun. We're not going to go see any fireworks because we do have little pups. And my pup, Grizz, she doesn't really care about fireworks, but Luna does get scared.
Luna gets a little shaky and she can kind of hide. So basically, we're just going to keep the TV on in the room where the dogs are, and that way hopefully they can't hear it. This neighborhood can be pretty loud sometimes. So a lot of people do private fireworks, which they shouldn't because it's illegal here, which it shouldn't be. In a dry desert, I've seen so many fires. Last year there were fires everywhere around us. It really pisses me off. But anyway,
so you should get mad, guys.
Be safe.
Be safe. But anyway, so going back to our, hold on a second. I see we're going back to like my little challenge at the beginning of sending photos, guys. I did get one photo. I think I only got one, but I think this is a good one to share. Melissa Carver, who basically made us all look bad by working on eBay all the way up to and through her pregnancy.
And she was posting from the delivery room,
pretty much.
Pretty sure.
I think she was listing. She was like, I gotta get
the
my
day
listing
after.
done.
Listing the day after. She was posting while she was in labor, I think.
Yeah, so her cute little baby, who is the first boss baby, she sent me her in her little 4th of July red, white, and blue outfit. Like, look how cute it is. Got a little crabby butt. So I think that's pretty adorable. Actually, Melissa, thank you for sharing the photo. And we do have a little prize that we're going to be sending out to you. We're not going to tell you what it is. You'll just have to wait and see.
I already got her. It's funny because I actually messaged her for her address today because I have some.
Oh, okay, there you go. So we're actually, you're going to be getting something from us. But I think that is pretty much the cutest thing ever. So back to the challenge, guys. Sorry, I'm so rambly sometimes. I understand that I talk a lot, but back to the challenge. So for those of you that want to go on this journey with us, again, this week, pick your few platforms that you plan to
do a little bit of research.
Pick your platforms that you can reasonably dedicate an appropriate amount of time to, because like I said, we need to be committing to those platforms that we want to work on. Identify what those are, figure out a game plan of what you want to do, like how you're going to address each of them daily, because you need to be doing them regularly, okay, guys? And then next week when we have our show, we can kind of report back and talk about it, how it's going, and kind of do a status update, because that's what the listing challenge is all about. Like, yeah, we talk about, boss up and list, and it is very eBay focused, but we're going to expand that. And it really is for any of the platforms that you are focusing on. You need to be challenging yourself and making sure that you're keeping up on everything. So I think that's super awesome. What do you think? How do you feel about that? You feel good about that challenge?
I feel good about it.
All right, you guys are on with. So come, if you're not in the Boss Facebook group, again, please, down below, there is a link. Also, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please hit subscribe, hit the little notification bell that's next to it to make sure you are getting notifications when I do put something new up or we come out with a new live show. And I really appreciate it. Please don't blow off any appendages tonight. Be super safe and careful,
be
but
careful.
have a lot of fun. Be careful if you're out driving, because a lot of people are getting real drunk for America today. And the roads aren't always the safest place to be. So if you can stay home or stay in one place and be safe, that would be super awesome. But thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us today. And we will see you soon. So just make sure that you boss up.